Okay, so welcome to episode 2 of Keeping It Real with Ket, episode 2 featuring Rushka.
Hello.
Yes, no, that's Rushka. I'm not Rushka. Rushka, tell us, we all started this question because tell us what's your supposed claim to fame in the South African content community, content creator community / gaming community.
I'm not famous, so
Damn, good enough answer for me. What was sparked your passion to start creating content and going live essentially?
so I've been creating content for a very, very long time, just not necessarily gaming content. I started blogging probably 15 years ago when
Damn.
Blogger was still a thing. A lot of people don't know Blogger because they're young, but back then blogging was, I don't even know if they use the term anymore, blogging, but it was like a very niche thing. And it was still very much, I want to say, authentic and hipster.
Yeah.
Like people got into blogging to just write short stories or poetry, or in my case, I was part of that crowd that really liked sharing like their outfits and fashion and that,
Okay, like get ready with me and stuff.
basically.
Okay, that's cool.
And one of my favorite bloggers back then was Tabby Givenson. She was this 14-year-old quirky girl that really loved fashion and just sharing like her interest in fashion and that. And her blog like blew up because her style was so unique. She would take like hangers and stuff and she'll make like a necklace out of a hanger.
Okay.
She'll just wear it as a
That's pretty
necklace.
cool.
And she wore these big floppy hats and she was just very avant-garde as well. The style was very cool. But the moment when she'd like get invited to New York Fashion Week, a 14-year-old girl getting invited to New York Fashion
Yeah,
Week.
that's a big deal.
Yeah. So I was a big fan of her, and then a couple of local bloggers also started around the time, like Bake the Blog and Fashion Breed. This was back in the day when they were still on blogging. I was like, this is really cool. I'm going to start doing this stuff as well. But I was very much at the time, because I was very young, I was into like otaku and the harajuku style. I didn't wear it myself, but I loved seeing it on other people.
That's pretty
I would,
cool.
like, basically just blog on that.
Okay.
And I remember because K-pop is such a thing now.
Yes.
In my day, J-pop was a thing, and obviously as a young girl, I was very much into J-pop. And then one of my favorite pop stars, Tsubasu Masuwaka or something like that. I probably butchered her name, but her name was Tsubasa, right? Or Milky Bunny. She was like
Milky
the
Bunny.
Japanese pop star, and she came out with these lashes. And I was like, I'm gonna order these lashes from
Oh
her.
no.
Because you couldn't get it here.
Yeah,
and
of
I
course.
ordered the lashes. And it arrived, and that was like one of my first blog posts. Was like my review of the Milky Bunny.
My
lashes.
Japanese imported lashes.
Exactly. I was so proud of it. And again, back then, blogging was just to share like your creativity and what you were doing.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely what it was like now.
Yeah, it wasn't to gain the attention of a brand or to become famous or anything. It was literally just you sharing your interest out there into the world. That was it. There was never like this ambition to get sponsored or famous or whatever. It was just, this is what I like and I'm going to put it out there, and that's it. Yeah, so that's where I started like ages ago. And then obviously interests change in that. I got into like traveling as well. So I went from blogging about like Japanese pop culture and style and that to like traveling. I did food for a bit, and then I think just before COVID, maybe 2 or 3 years before COVID, I was playing a lot of Fallout 4.
Okay, pretty cool.
I've always been a gamer. People always ask this question, like, when did you start gaming?
Nah, it's a stupid question.
It's such a dumb question because a lot of people started gaming like at a very young age.
Young age, exactly.
Kids,
like everyone's been exposed to gaming at some point in their life, so
Everyone
it's a stupid question to ask.
as a kid, unless you are in a unique circumstance.
Yeah.
But most of us in our space, I think it's safe to say a lot of us grew up with playing a tele game station, audio, or
some form of gaming.
Exactly. So I've always been into gaming and that, and I think just before COVID, like maybe 2-3 years before, I was playing a lot of Fallout 4. I had 800 hours at the time because I was modding it.
Okay, that makes it much more fun.
Yeah, I was modding it to like clean up the streets, and the mod where you could have 2 companions and all different types of settlements and that. I was playing Fallout 4 like Sims basically.
Oh damn!
I was building so many settlements and stuff, and yeah. And the problem with modding, right, is if something breaks, everything breaks.
Everything breaks, exactly.
I'm trying to fix it. So yeah.
You spend more time sorting out your mods than actually playing the game.
Exactly, which is why I don't mod games anymore. I'm way too lazy to mod games now. But yeah, my partner was like, "Oh, you play a lot of this. Why don't you just stream it?"
Oh,
I was
damn.
like, I'll think about it. And then I think I didn't stream Fallout 4 actually. I think because we played a lot of Battlefield 4 as well.
Okay.
So I think one of the first games I streamed, aside from Outlast, because that was I think harder games started with my first game was Outlast, but I think before that I was playing a lot of Battlefield 4 as well. So I think I streamed a bit of that, and then I was like, "This is fun." There was like just one or two people in my chat, but I had a lot of fun, and I was like, "Cool, let me do this and do it a little bit with a little bit more effort." So that's when I started Outlast in like hard mode, and people loved that.
Yeah, people love watching people scare themselves shitless. You know?
Exactly. That's when I was like, okay, maybe hard is my thing to stream. So yeah, that's how I started streaming.
Okay, that's good. So since the time like I've been following you on Twitter, you've hosted like 2 events in the community. And most recently the Fems and Thems Overwatch thingy.
Yeah.
And previously I think it was just like a ACGL women's Apex Legends thingy. A tournament.
Yes, a lot of people don't know that.
I remember that one clearly. Yes, so to my understanding, they were very successful from like an outsider's point of view, like from watching and stuff. So, what would you say were the hardest obstacles or things you had to surpass to make those events as successful as they were?
The hardest thing was definitely getting sponsorship. Like that's very difficult. People, brands don't want to necessarily sponsor anyone that's got a low following, and
yeah, that we definitely know.
I don't have a big following, so to convince brands that I'm relevant enough for them to first of all respond to my email, and then secondly, give me stuff to give to the community. It's an incredibly difficult thing, even if you've got the stats to boot, even if you've got the engagement. It's very difficult getting their attention. Which is why this year I was like, let me invite a white girl to join me because brands in this country love white girls.
We know that. We know that.
Yeah, we all know that.
No one can deny that. No one can deny that.
Nope. So I was like, let me invite a white girl, but let me not just invite any white girl. Let me invite an actual hardworking, relevant. Invite a homie. Someone that actually knows what they're doing, professional. They just know their stuff. I love working with Jess. I enjoyed playing Apex with her last year, and then I remember doing, I think it was the serial review that ran so smoothly. It was so uncomplicated.
I don't think I've seen the serial review.
I haven't posted it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it still needs to be posted, but we streamed it sometime last year. And what I really liked about her is I messaged her, I was like, hey, you want to do a serial review? So let me be shady for a second. So this is how the serial review workflow goes. I message a creator, and they respond with they're enthusiastic, and then I'm like, okay, cool, here's a list of cereals that's already been eaten. Let me know what
what's left here.
Yeah, let me know what you'd like to eat. And then it's usually crickets. For most creators, they just Chase was very different. I was like, hey, you want to eat cereal? She's like, yes. I'm like, cool, here's the list. She's like, okay, cool, let's eat. Like immediately she's like, okay, cool, let's try this. I'm like, what? Oh, okay, you're responding immediately.
Yep.
Wow, that's so nice of you. And then, she's like, cool, I'll put out graphics for this and I'll put out that. And I'm like, what? You want to put out graphics?
You want to do stuff, damn. People want to work, damn. That's wild.
Yeah. She's like, cool. And then I'll notify 5 people on my Discord and we can use this and that and blah, blah, blah. And just let me know time. And like, she was so enthusiastic and so professional from start to finish. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I can definitely agree.
This is exactly why you are that bitch. This is exactly why brands want to work with her. Why everyone loves working with her. No one can say shit about you.
Yeah,
she's professional and she knows her stuff. So I'm a smart person, which is exactly why I asked Jess to be my co-host with the Fems and Thems. And that's exactly why the Fems and Thems went really well. So aside from white girl privilege, she's actually so 100% overqualified to do what she does. And I love working with her.
So would you say after like getting Jess on board, do you say brands would work with you alone, or is it still the same where they'll still need another person for you to or another person to advocate for you, rather, to get sponsorships, even though they've seen you've done 2 successful events? Because remember, you were even on the Twitch fan page, and I don't quote me on this, but I don't know how many South Africans have been on the Twitch fan page besides you and like Rusty and stuff recently. So it's a very small number. So do you think that
I think I was the first, actually. I think I was
you would. I also think you were the first, as far as I know. So do you think that after looking at how big your impact was on the community and like Overwatch as a whole, because you were literally on the front page, even of Overwatch, you were like on the front page, do you think brands will be more eager to work with you without somebody else advocating that like Rushka is like a good content creator and she'll bring like a good rate of investment, blah, 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 all this stuff?
No. What I will say is, okay, so with Jess being my partner for the Femmes and Thems, she pulled a lot of brands in, which was amazing. All the brands and sponsorships that you saw for the Femmes and Thems, Jess organized.
Okay.
I didn't even bother because I knew I was going to.
Yeah. Work smart, not hard, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So one good thing that came out of that is one brand did notice, even though I've worked with them before.
Okay.
They did notice after the event, and they actually messaged me, and yeah, fingers crossed, I'm gonna have my first brand, I guess, deal or sponsorship.
That's cool.
In the works. We like still in the contract or stages or whatever. So one good thing pulling Jess in was through my white friend. I got recognized, through brands or whatever. But the sad reality is for a lot of POC gaming content creators, and I know a lot of hardworking ones, they will just not get the acknowledgement or recognition that they deserve, unfortunately.
And the ones who do get like, what can I say, do get opportunities, they do like the bare minimum, like or from the brand side, they get like the bottom of the barrel opportunities, I would assume, like, or to say, just for maybe like to say like, oh, we got this person of color to work for a brand, blah, blah, blah.
They filled their obligatory
like quota or something,
Exactly. And a lot of our people, they get treated like shit when they're doing brand work, and that's it's very clear when you work with a brand, when you're just there to fill a quota. You can just tell by the way they treat you, and now they rush you off quickly. And
it's like this wants you to be done, like they want you to be done. Like I would say, like let's put this on my checklist is gone, because I like. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of like white content creators who are like exceptionally good, like none of this like to attack people who like take away from their own accomplishments.
Not at all.
But there are a lot of people of color who are actually exceptionally good as well who aren't getting opportunities, who I think should get. Obviously I'm not like the judge and stuff to assume who should get these things, but like comparing like view wise and like rate of investment wise, like some brands will actually benefit more of like, not saying to take it away from other people, but also to like invest in like other avenues.
Exactly.
I think that's what's holding South Africa back as our force in like the content creation scene, because I feel like the time of playing games on Twitch is over. It's more about like entertainment value now. And there's tons of people who are very entertaining that people literally will go and watch them, like just look at a screen and talk to you. So I think that's what brands should like, hopefully in this year would look into doing, because other stuff for me, from an outsider's perspective, it doesn't seem like it's working for them to push out. Like I've seen people like, we don't care about your Samsung phones. We don't care about all that stuff, being pushed at us. We don't care about that. Respect to all the people doing that to get the bag, but hey.
Get your bag.
Go do what you must. So I've seen a lot on Twitter as well. People say like, pay your panel people, and they like just getting random POCs to like cover, like add them to like slot them into panels so they like feel diverse. But I don't think that's like the general direction you need to go, because people are more than just people of color, like they have more to them.
How many POCs have you seen on the panels?
I mean, I've seen you virtually there. That's about it. I think I've seen Androva.
And we were all on the diversity panel.
That's why I feel like people like you who do content creation on the side, it's not your main job and you don't rely on it for a living. People need to like look up to you and like realize content creation in South Africa is not sustainable at all. I don't think no matter who you are, how many views you're getting, whether you're a Twitch partner or not, you cannot survive of being a content creator unless you like really in and getting like brand deals like every second week or something. You will never be able to survive. And that's like it's a common misconception where people think that, oh, I'm getting like I'm having a subathon and then every month the revenue is going to be the same. It's really not. I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and some people get angry because it's like you pulling the veil off their heads where they're like, oh, realization. And some people are just like, what can we do? Like,
I know so many Twitch partners that are broke as fuck. So.
Exactly.
Like you're right, it's not a sustainable thing to do. You should have a job.
Yes, yes, yes.
Unless you're making 50K a month consistently for like a year, then sure, jump into it full time. But if you're not, then just don't take the risk. I've seen people who live 1 month comfortably, they jump into it full time, and then they
Then nope,
instantly regret it.
people make too hastily decisions once they like realize, oh, I'm making that 50 subs a month, which is nothing. But
Yeah.
it's
50 subs really is nothing. Like, I only get a Twitch payout maybe every 4 months or so.
yeah,
or 5
and even
months.
that you're gonna get like $100 or something. You know, what can you do with $100? Nothing.
Exactly. That money goes back into Twitch anyway.
Exactly.
Like, I'm scamming myself because I end up like donating or subbing to other streamers, and within like a month or so. So actually, that money is just circulating back to Twitch every time. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly, and they're just taking it more and more. So, Rushka, as a female and a person of color, what would you say were some of your good and bad experiences in the community as a whole?
I can't speak so much on the female part because I feel like as an older female, I don't deal with as much nonsense.
Okay.
I still get the occasional married men, very well known.
Oh damn! Okay.
Streamer men who are married.
With like local people.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Okay.
And international in your DMs, just being like very inappropriate.
Okay.
And their day will come when they get exposed. Like they're gonna get exposed. But that hasn't been so, it hasn't never shaken me to my core when a man has ever approached me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
it shouldn't.
Yeah, no. I've seen people be toxic to all kinds of
people. Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't particularly feel special about the toxicity towards my gender. Even though it definitely will happen if I use voice comm in like a card block. But I just don't. I don't know. I'm probably going to sound weird for saying this, but I don't make it a thing because I don't feel like it's as much of a thing as it used to be. I think we have gotten to a point in society in general, not necessarily in third world countries.
Yeah.
But I think in a first world sort of setting, which gaming, I mean, we do have first world experience if we're PC gamers, right?
Yeah.
We're really detached from actual third world problems. We're sitting here streaming on our PCs.
Our PCs, right? Yes.
From a first world sort of point of view, I think women in gaming is actually quite normalized now. I don't think it's a thing anymore. I don't think we're unicorns. I do think there are a lot of pick-me's in the community.
Oh, for sure.
That try very hard to make it seem as if we're still unicorns.
Yeah.
And they especially make it their brand or their identity or whatever, because they know that gets the engagement. It's like, oh, woe is me, I'm a girl. Oh, woe is me, I'm getting picked on. And not to minimize anyone's like harassment or bullying or anything.
Yeah.
Like, harassment is harassment.
It's real. It happens still.
But I've seen how certain women manipulate the situation.
Oh yeah, for sure. We see it all the time on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, they complain about essentially nothing. They complain about things that most women deal with on the daily, and we just, it is what it is. It shouldn't be normalized again. But you get what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
They almost weaponize it, and it can, to me, it's so damaging because there are actual, sexual assault cases and that should be given more attention.
Yes.
And then you've got women online complaining that, someone DM'd me because he wants to have sex with me. Woe is me.
Normal occurrences.
Yeah, someone flirted with me. Oh, it's so hard being a woman because I'm so hot and people flirt with me. Like, shut the fuck up. The issue that I'm facing with like race and that is they're not doing it so much in your face anymore, but they're doing it in the background. They're still doing it. They're still doing it behind your back. And you can tell with the microaggressions that you see every day online. And we deal with a lot of microaggressions as content creators of color. An example I can give you is if we're working with a brand, and this happens a lot, and I speak with X, Y, and Z content creators a lot. We've had situations where we do, I guess, group campaigns or whatever.
Yeah.
And brands would flat out ignore all the people of color and only interact with the white creators.
Even though you're all doing the same thing, though, like you're doing the same campaign.
The same thing.
That's wild.
It would be on Twitter where we would be instructed to at the brand or interact with them or whatever. We wouldn't even get so much as a like or whatever. But the moment a white person
retweeted instantly,
half-assed or like not even as much effort as we put into whatever we put out, they'll get retweeted and followed and responded to and blah 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 blah. and it happens. The microaggressions happen so much that you just start picking up on every little thing after a while, and you can't help but assume that it must be like some form of racism or something, because it's only happening to certain individuals.
Yeah. Enough with the serious questions. So you're probably like the first person I've ever seen play like Hunt. So how did you get like so attached to the game? Because you seem like having lots of fun with it, and you got like other people to join you as well. So I'm assuming it's like a big part of your new gaming career, I would say.
If you play Hunt, you'll understand. There's no other game like it. There's just no other game like it.
It looks very
especially
fun.
If you play a lot of FPS games like Battlefield or Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. It's like a whole new type of FPS game.
It's like an evolved form of an FPS game, honestly. So I really loved Battlefield 4, but then obviously Battlefield 5 came out, and it was like, man, Battlefield 1 also didn't do it for me. And then 2042 came out, and they just completely
trash game.
At the time, I think I was just playing a bunch of horror games, and I was like, wow, I really need an FPS game in my life. And then I watched a lot of Profits. He doesn't stream anymore, but he played a lot of Hunt Showdown. And the game looked amazing. And then he bought the game for me. And then I started playing it with him, and I was like, holy shit, this game is actually so fucking amazing. It's atmospheric. It's got an FPS, it's got a PvE element, it's got a PvP element, and it's extraction based as well, which makes it more intense. Yeah, so this is Monsters and Players. It's very challenging and it's very competitive, but it also is atmospheric, which a lot of FPS games don't get to pull off as well. You can hear when a player's nearby because they'll step on a branch and it will creak, so you're forced to pay attention to the atmosphere. So they found a way to make you really engulfed in the game without even realizing it. So yeah, there's no other game like it. Unfortunately, we don't have any servers and stuff. So
yeah, that's a norm,
Yeah.
Before we come to a close, do you have any game or a snack that like transports you back to like your childhood days?
Pokemon Gold, probably. I still play it.
Nice. Pretty good. Good choice. I think everyone has a Pokemon story, like like back then. Obviously, majority of people didn't have a Game Boy. We played it on like an emulator or some shit,
Yeah, I still play it on an emulator. I've got an emulator. I still play all the Pokemon games. I still go back to like Pokemon Yellow. I'm on the SSN again.
Nice. Good times.
Pokemon Gold, I think I probably played it 7 or 8 times over. I
think that was me and Pokemon Emerald. Because when I was young, Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire were like big on the emulators.
Yeah.
So I played that a lot.
I played Ruby. I didn't play Emerald. Can't remember if I played Sapphire. But Ruby was like game changer. I was like, this is almost 3D-ish. What is this?
No.
I could actually tell you about. Well, I could tell you many stories. But there was this one particular brand that I messaged because I wanted to work with them. I was a fan of their product, and I had just gotten to the I would like to give you a proposal part, like content plan and timeline and everything, and I can give you my stats. Let's have a meeting to discuss, whether in person, like at a coffee shop or whatever. And I got hit with the hi, sorry, some generic,
Oh my god, PR response.
We've reached our marketing budget for the rest of the year, but I'll keep you posted when we're looking, which is bullshit. Like they didn't reach their marketing budget because 2 weeks later, a white girl posted that something broke and that they would, in exchange, for X product, do some content for it. And a week later, they got that product from the very same brand.
Wild.
Another marketing budget for me. So
the marketing budget just came through that day.
It magically appeared.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, you should have been born a white girl. And again, this is no shade to any white content creators.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Or whatever, they're absolutely deserving of it. But you can. You can critique a brand still without it being about the creator itself,
Oh yeah, no shame to any creators. Like in their shoes, I would do the exact same thing. Like
absolutely.
If like it's South Africa, you gotta make money when you can. Especially like how bad unemployment rates and stuff are. Like
exactly. So
we do what you can.
To any creators or whatever. It's absolutely to the brands, not diversifying their portfolio, I guess, or not giving other creators a chance, and that it's complete bullshit. And the situation here is very bleak. People want to hear us spew all this fairy tale positive nonsense,
I could never.
It's bleak. I have if you're a gaming content creator, or even, well, I don't know about the tech space, but in the gaming space,
It's terrible.
if you're a person of color and you're a gamer in this country, just get a full-time job, please, and do this as your side hustle.
Yeah.
Because you will go hungry. So I got this for my 21st birthday, actually. When I turned 21, I'm like, I'm going to order this off of
Okay.
Amazon. And
Yep.
I was so excited to get it. When it arrived. But I haven't really been able to read much because I don't know if you know, like my eyesight's fucked up. So
Yeah, I've seen about that. I was actually supposed to ask about that, but I forgot. How's the funding and stuff going for the surgery on that?
It's not going very well.
And I'm assuming like your medical aid and stuff is not covering it or not covering the full cost. That's why
medical aid doesn't really cover anything eye related unless someone stabs me in the eye.
Okay. I actually did not know that. I'm like the only person in my family who has like really good eyesight. Everyone else wears glasses, so I've never been like in the need for that.
They will cover like getting spectacles, right? They will cover your eye test. Well, depends on which medical aid you have. And then even like the glasses itself and the frames, that will come out of your medical savings instead of like being covered by
on the medical aid.
And obviously for a 60,000 rand surgery,
yes,
like when you have like a 2,000 rand medical savings account,
you'd also expect like this is like not like a flu or something. It's actually serious. You'd actually expect like medical aid to make like exceptions or like at least have like some clause in there to be like, oh, this person needs this shit. It's like serious.
Medical aid is very bullshit.
It's very bullshit, yes.
But with Shaz and a kidney
situation. That's very bad. That's like such a serious thing. And she's been battling with that for years, like
exactly.
It's so bad.
So honestly, medical aid you just get for like emergencies.
Emergencies, yes.
Because they will not cover jack shit for anything else. So yeah, Luke Addison, I don't know if you know Luke, he just my partner recently, and he's so kind enough to help me with the funding and that. He just started his the goals this week.
Okay.
So yeah, fingers crossed for me.
Let's hope.
There are people in the community that want to help me and stuff, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, I've seen.
Because I don't stream as much. And it was a bit hard for me to get into a consistent schedule recently, but I'm hoping I can get back at it so I can start the grind again for the 60K goal.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't expect it to move anywhere unless I'm actually actively streaming and that. Like you can't expect that.
No, the community will come around. There's some nice people in the community.
Yeah.
Very few, but
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm lucky to know most of the nice ones.
Yeah, exactly. Before we go, what's something you wish you could tell like your past self or younger self you knew before starting content creation? Don't
hold whatever project you've got in mind. Don't hold it off for so long. Just do it. Just start. Doesn't matter if it's shit. You can always just do a revisited version of it. You could, do a part 2 or version 3 or 4 or 5. Just start. Because at the time of you thinking of your project or idea, so many things can happen within 2 or 3 months. You're like, okay, I'll do it next week. And then that next week becomes next month. And that next month becomes 6 months time, then a year. Then next thing you know, like that Twitch career you wanted to start at like 21, you're only doing at like 27, 28. Because you keep holding things off. So just start, even if you don't have all the equipment or whatever.
Right, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, that's the advice that I would give to my younger self and to any young creators out there that want to get into anything. And then more importantly, support people of color. Have you paid today?